All right. So yeah, yesterday we were working on placing the scaffolding, and originally we were gonna use the tile map here, but that didn't seem to work. And then the next thing we were gonna do is create an array recording all of these tiles. Um, and that could work, but I'm thinking maybe all we have to do now. Technically, there are a bunch of scenarios where, I mean, they could look like this or they could look like this. So we could have a scaffolding here, one here. Like there are a bunch of different ways we could place them. And I think what we could also do is we could account for, we don't necessarily need to make sure that they're 2 pixels apart or 4 pixels apart. It doesn't really matter, or 4 tiles apart. We could technically have something like this. Technically, there could be scaffolding. I mean, it would never look like that. It would look more like this. Yeah, we could have something like that. So, if there's nothing to the left and there's nothing above it, we add it to our scaffolding origins. And so what I think we'll do is we'll add a texture. Really depends on which texture we want to have. So I'm going to add both of these sprites here. Do that first. So I think we're going to have 2 scenes. We're going to have a large, let's do small scaffold. Is scaffold a word? Scaffold. No, it's scaffold. Okay, yeah. So we've grabbed our first origins. What I think we're gonna do is we're gonna set a random. We'll do. Let me see here. First, let me make these images. One is 16 by 16. There's a 32 by 32 and 16 by 16. Hey, how's it going, Mildon? Ali. Oh. There we go. Alright, so this is our smallest scaffold. Let's make another scene. This will be our large. And so after we've grabbed our first origin, or like our first origin here, we're just gonna select a random scaffold. It's gonna be either the small one or the large one. Ideally, I think we want the large one first. I think we could just make it random, to be honest. Let's do this. What game am I working on? It's the same one I've been working on for a while now. So first we're gonna want to make a random int. Do we have to use var random number generator? Let me see, random int 1. I guess we'll just use this. So yeah, I can show you guys what it looks like right now. So yeah, we've been working on just the aesthetics of the game, and right now I'm just working on turning these platforms into a scaffolding rather than just a platform. For this particular case, it's fine the way it is, but sometimes we make really large platforms, and I'd like for it to look a little realistic right there. So whenever we have this, I'm gonna replace it with a different texture. Oh, and I just realized we're not gonna want to place it over here. We're gonna want to place it one tile below. Yeah, we'll have to do that too. And I guess what we'll also have to do is replace this texture with something else if we are using the scaffolding. But let's just make the platform work first. Alright, so we're picking a random number, and I think we'll put it here. We want to use maybe an array to record the values that we already have, or we could just remove them the second they're used. So we'll do this. Match num, and let's actually call this scaffolding type. How can I use GDScript? Can it be used from YouTube tutorials? Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's basically how I learned, just watching YouTube tutorials. Or you could download projects online, mess around with them. There's like a lot of resources out there, a lot of open source projects if you just want to look at the code, stuff like that. Alright, so we're going to match our scaffolding type. It's only going to be 0 and 1. And what we're going to do with, so like if we are going to use scaffolding 0 or 1, we're going to want to delete some of these cells starting from the origin here. So let's see. I'll just add the texture for now, and we'll go from there. So, var scaffold temp is equal to and then we're going to want to add it to our current scaffolding origin, which, I mean, technically we could just use recent origin here. Let's try it out. For now, let's comment all of this out. If get cell. So we should only get we should only get one cell at the moment, or I mean 2 scaffolding types. Oh, but we are using the small one, so maybe that's why it's like repeating itself. Let me try that one more time. Oh, nice. I started learning game dev with Unity as well. How come it's not working anymore? Oh, I guess because it depends if we're getting 0 or 1. So for now, I'm just gonna put all of them here. For both cases. Let's run it again. So yeah, it looks like it's spawning everywhere. So that means this if statement is not working. Oh, it's because we're iterating through all of these. So let's actually push this. Here. Yeah, it's called Afterlife. Alright, so there we go. It does work. You'll see that there's one sprite sheet here. We'd obviously want to expand on it and make it like go all the way down. But yeah, we're almost there. So at this point, we can add large scaffold as well. And we're going to want to record this size somewhere here. After we've selected our temp, maybe what we'll want to do we're also going to want to check if it's even possible to put it in here, because technically here are like our options. Basically, we can either place a 4x4 here or a 2x2. We want to randomly decide whether or not we want to place a 4x4 or 2x2, but then let's say we place a 4x4, we can't place another 4x4, we're gonna have to place a 2x2, or vice versa. If we place a 2x2, we can either place 2 more 2x2s, or we could place a 4x4. Really depends. And same with here. You can either place, well, for this one, we could either place only 2 2x2s or just 1 4x4. And then the extra space we're just going to leave alone. So what I think we'll do here, first we're gonna have to check. Maybe we don't even want this this if statement. What we'll do, here, this is what we'll do. If scaffolding type is equal to 0, actually let's handle the first one first. So if it's equal to 1, and we're also going to have to record the distance. How are we going to do that? We could probably make another function here. So let me first comment this out. Did I send you the cobwebs that already exist? Yeah, sure. I thought I sent it to you in the file, but maybe not. Let me see what it's called. Not it. Webs. No. Spiderwebs sprite sheet. There you go. Yeah, I don't know if I answered you, Barbara, but the game is called Afterlife. I I am thinking of changing it. I don't know yet. We'll see. Just because there is another game called Afterlife on Steam, so I'm wondering maybe if we should change it just so that if people search it up, they don't get confused with the other title. So what we're going to do in this function is we're going to check if there are a certain amount of adjacent tiles if they exist. And what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to grab the cell. We're going to want to grab the value of that cell. So cell index. And then we're also going to want to grab the distance. So right now, we'll grab the size of it. So yeah, let's say, we'll just say distance. And then what we're going to want to do here is we're going to say for tile in, let's call this tile distance. For tile in tile distance, if get cell V of cell plus vector 2 of tile. Technically, this is not tile. Let's just call this let's call this just tile x and tile distance x, just so I don't confuse it with an actual tile. We're just grabbing the x value here. So plus vector 2 of tile x 0. And if it's equal to 4, or if it's equal to our cell index, tiles adjacent. Alright, so if this is ever something else, then we're going to return tiles adjacent is equal to false. And then at the end of this, we're just going to return tiles adjacent. And basically what we're going to do with this is we're going to say if scaffolding type is equal to 1 and check adjacent tiles of our, we could just put cell here actually, of cell and cell 4, and this cell is 4 as well. And then what we'll do, so if this is true, then we're gonna add this here. Let's grab the large one first. Large scaffold.instance, add scaffold temp, and then scaffold temp.global position is equal to map to world. And then what we're going to want to do here is we're going to want to delete all of the tiles that this file has just replaced, or I mean this sprite has just like taken over. So scaffold.global position is equal to map to world, and then should we delete it? I think once this happens, we might want to restart the whole thing and check for the next one. And I'm wondering if we want to make another function to delete these tiles. But we're also going to want to make sure that we don't delete the top ones. Or either that, or we're going to want to place the top files first. Let me see. Replace platforms. The only thing is we write this almost immediately. Or this happens... You know what? For now, we're just not going to replace the platforms. We'll do that after we've placed the scaffolding. So let's do this. For of I and J. This is going to be negative 1. Oh, thanks for the raid, Black Boy. Make the script a little larger? Yeah, sure, no problem. How's that? Damn, man, upsetting. What's upsetting? Yeah, I do need a raid alert. I'm sorry. I'm assuming that's what's the upsetting part. I'm gonna try to like up my my Twitch quality. Damn, I think Restream needs to up their game too. There's like no notifications, no nothing. You know what I do? Sometimes I keep my phone out. They do have like a live stream dashboard. Oh, there we go. Now I can see it. How's the game coming? It's going. It's we've made a decent, like, honestly, I feel like I've made so much progress in the last 2 months compared to, like, you know, the entire year. So it feels pretty good. in terms of like current progress, like what I'm working on right now is I'm just trying to implement these large scaffolding objects into our game. We can't use Godot's typical tile map for this because it's like an entire object, or like it's larger than our tile size. And I mean, maybe there's a way for it to work with Godot, but I'm just doing it this way. It seems like this will be quicker. So this should have worked. Let's do this. For now, I'm gonna see. Let's do scaffolding type is equal to 1. Here goes nothing. Oh, right now it's 17. Run that again. All right, yeah. So it does work. It's placed the first tiles or the first scaffold in our section here, and now we're gonna want 2 more, and we're also gonna want to make sure that we delete all of these and that we place our original platforms above it. Is it sort of like VVV and downfall, etc., etc.? Sort of. It's kind of like. Yeah, I mean, it is a platformer, so the gameplay is similar in that sense. It's very close to Celeste, if you've heard of that game. After You Die. That's also a good name. Okay, so one thing that's strange here is that it hasn't deleted these tiles right here, these 2 tiles. I'm not entirely sure why. For I in 4, let me see, cell plus I. I mean, we do include 0, 0, so I wonder why. You know, for now, I think maybe we just want to ignore it for now. It's very strange how it ignores the last 2. And it didn't do it for this one. I mean, it only did it for this one and this one. And it completely ignored this one here. You know, honestly, I don't think there's ever going to be an instance where we're going to have 2 stacked on top of each other, but I guess we should handle every case. Let me just try to figure out. If getCell is equal to 4, if cell plus vector2.left is not equal to 4. Wait, let me look at this one more time. You know what it is? It is what's happening here is actually it's replacing. Seems like it's replacing the tiles that already exist in our game. So let me see. We'll ignore it for now. Let's just try to finish it up, and then we'll figure out if it still bugs out. So this was our 4x4. We need one more 2x2. So what we're gonna do we might want to reset our cells here. Another thing that we're going to want to do is if our scaffolding type is equal to 1 and this proves to be false, then we're going to want to switch back to 0. So then let's do this. elif this will be 2 and 2. I'm gonna do the same exact thing here, but with 2x2s. Let's do small scaffold.instance, scaffold temp, and then put this here instead. Technically, we're gonna want to do this going down 2 tiles as well. Yeah, it's more than likely we're always gonna want to put 2. But for now, let's just handle 1. Alright, so nothing has happened yet. This actually never prints out. You know what it is? Wait, we're getting 0, 0, and then we get 0, 1, 0, 2. Okay, so no, this is correct. Let me do this. Alright, so we're grabbing 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, and then 2, 0, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 0. It should go all the way down. Let me see here. 0, 1, 2, 3. No, yeah, it should go all the way down to 3, 0, 3, 1, 3, 3. This is 3, 3, right? Yeah, so it should grab this whole section, but for some reason, when we run it, these 2 tiles right here still exist. Let me just delete this real quick. Yeah, so those are still there. If we were to delete these, what would happen? No, they're still there. Let me see what happens if we do just 2. Nothing happens just yet. Scaffolding type is equal to 1, check adjacent cells, 4. I mean, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. We are going to delete all of these cells, but I'm just wondering why this loop here isn't deleting all of our cells here. These two shouldn't be there. And it's strange because it deletes everything after it. Just doesn't include those right there. So, but the thing is, when we print it out 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, we go all the way up to 3, 0. Wait, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3. Unless I'm misunderstanding this. Let's do this. Huh. Very, very strange. So when we place a tile here, it automatically gets deleted. So I think what might be happening is... Wait, what the hell, man? Oh, okay. Run it one more time. Let's make this negative 100. Don't know why this is proving to be so difficult. And what's also strange is that we're getting this like black line behind all of our images here, or like this black background. Let's look at the scene real quick. So we're getting one tile, two tiles, and then let me delete this scaffolding tile map. It seems like it's placing one of our regular auto tile map files here. So let me see. Did we place 1 instead of -1? Set it to -1. Thanks, Titan. I'll see you around. So it's not a matter of our tiles. Because in this code here, we're setting everything to -1, and yet we still have something there. Let me try one more thing. That didn't fix it. Oh my god! I think I figured it out. It's because we have this function here that grabs our max cells, and this is what's making that black background. So, well, can't believe it took me that long to figure it out. So what usually happens in our game is we have like some sort of border, like there's always a tile map around it. There we go. Oh my goodness. Okay. So those two work. Let's go back and we can comment this out. This should work the way it is. And we could remove. Alright, so that works. Let's see what happens if we add another section here. Let's grab this. Let's put two more. So nothing happens with the two just yet. We just delete them. So let's see. The scaffolding type is equal to 1 and check for tiles. So this is going to be false immediately. What I think we're doing at this point is once we grab our cell, we're also deleting. Are we deleting these cells? So once we grab our cell, we're deleting it immediately. And then our next set of cells, which is going to be at, what is this? At 40. We need to make sure we're not deleting anything past 40. So for cell and get use cells, grab our first cell. If that first cell, and check adjacent cells is true, we add that child, we put it in the correct position, and then for all of the current cells we delete. And then at this point we're iterating through our cells even more, and at this moment this only checks if there's anything to the left and anything that's above. What I think we could technically do, since we're going from left to right and top to bottom, is maybe we don't even need, we don't necessarily need to check if there's anything. Let me think about this. So our used cells, I'm not sure if it actually updates at this point. We can try running it here. Let's see. Actually. Alright, so our used, this is our whole selection of used cells. At the moment, do we see 40? -3, -2, -1. 4. Yeah, so 40 is still there, but at the same time, 30 is still there, 20 is still there. So we need to make sure either we want to update used cells, or we can just say yeah, the thing is, it's not updating immediately. So either we can restart. Let's see. could create an array for it. Let me think here. The thing is, it should actually still work because we've already set cell to -1. So once we go into our next cell, it should be. It might just be that this isn't being ran. Let's do this. Let's see what cells we're iterating through. So print so it goes straight to 4 -7, which is these tiles here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just gonna put a bunch just to check. Alright, so it's just that I guess this if statement right over here doesn't seem to be working. So if scaffolding type is equal to 4, this prints out true. If this you know what I believe? Maybe. Is this supposed to be 1, 1? 0. Technically, yeah, it might be 0 and 1, so then this might have to be 3 and 3. Let's just check. No. Strange how putting one... Oh, I'm so silly. There should be... There we go. It should be 4 and 3. There we go. So that should work there, and then this... It shouldn't be 1 and 1, it should be 4 and 1. There we go. Okay. So let's see if this works for this. So that's that, and then let's make this a little wider. There we go. And let's see what happens if we add even more. And then what we also want to do is, before we actually delete all of our tiles, we want to make sure that we're replacing the top ones right there. So what I'll do here is, in the script, I think we've commented it out. Did we? Yeah, replace current platform, or replace platforms. We're going to want to put replace platforms somewhere here before we delete them. I think we'll do it. You could put it in this I here, or in this X here. But we also want to make sure that we're not placing it. We only want to place it on the top of these sections, and it's kind of hard to tell before we actually delete everything. So let me think. It's hard to tell what an actual cluster is, at least right now at the moment. Because technically, if we have something that's super large, like, for instance, maybe we actually haven't tested it out yet, but we could have something like this. And so yeah, in this case, it does place itself correctly. But we'll still want to grab what's above here. So what I think we could do is maybe we'll want to record an array. Let me think here. I mean, we do have used cells. We could just say if there's anything above used cells, if, but the thing is, we're already deleting them. And we kind of have to rely on us deleting them so we don't have to check for them ever again. What I think we could do is, if there's nothing above it, we could make an array of our used scaffolding and check for like certain values. So like if there is something in that position where we want to place the tile, we won't. That's one option. We could also make we could make an array of like used platform cells. Look at this one more time. We could actually see it in our game. So our global position is all the way over here. Is it technically position? Very strange how it's not updating properly. Try this one more time. Oh, you know what it is? We're in the wrong room. So there we go. They are technically being placed correctly. Now we just need to figure out if there's a tile above us, or if there's a sprite above us, then we don't place a tile, or if there's no tile above us, then we're gonna place that solid platform up there. And then for this case, I mean, we could see that it's sort of it's being placed over our regular tile map. We'll have to fix that as well. Or maybe we want to make sure that we're just not using, we only want to draw them correctly, so we only want to put them in sections of 4 or 2. So if I did something like that, kept it even, then push these up here. like that, yeah. Damn, Sparky, were you up all day? Or is my stream boring? Maybe. Oh, okay, no, that's not a problem. Well, it's strange how this got deleted from us removing these tiles here. Let's try that again. A little bit of both. I wouldn't blame you. I get tired from, like, I don't like when I'm not seeing as much progress as I'd like. Like, this is something so simple and I know the solution, but it's like, it's just a matter of, like, I don't know, figuring out the best way possible. And so, yeah, like, I'd like to be done already with this. But I know you're kidding. Or do I? So what we could do here is for x is equal to 4, or when x is equal to, or for when y is equal to 0, we could check if there's a tile above. Don't know if we want to do that just yet. We could also just make 2 sets of auto tiles. I don't know if I want to do that. Yeah, problems do need to be solved. We could grab the max height of every single one. And this is only, let me think here. We could either do that, or we could make an array of our cells instead. X and 4. The thing is, if we put it in this while loop here, it's going to be placed in all areas. So like over here in our world, for every 4, like we'll have the tiles here, and then we'll have the tiles here, and we don't really want that. We just want it to be up here. We don't really have a way to grab like a cluster. So if we did it that way, there is a way around it. But if, let's say hypothetically, we had another scaffolding right above it, it might mess with those values. That's kind of hard. We could just not make it as dynamic as that. I don't know if I'm ever going to have multiple sets of scaffolding above it. But I do like having the option to, like later on in the game, possibly. So I don't want to do it that way either. So let me think here. We'll probably go the route of just adding another array somewhere, and saying, hey, this is where our platforms are going to go. I think that's probably the best approach here. The only thing is figuring out which ones we want to record. It's usually only going to be it's only going to be the first few. So that shouldn't be too hard. Let's see. We're grabbing our first cell. We actually aren't grabbing scaffolding origins. At least not right now. We could iterate through it immediately. That's another option. Why is this so hard? Honestly, what I think we'll do, this will make our life so much easier, is I'm going to add another texture. Do something like that. And for our scaffolding, we have platform. This is 4. This is 6. We'll just use 6 instead of 4. 6 and 6. And then if we go here into one of these rooms, we'll just have to draw 2 different ones. So this will be our main one, and then over here, do 6. Can get rid of all of this real quick. Oh, wait. I want it to look like that. So let me edit this real quick again. In our auto tile here. Let's just grab this. And I'm not sure if we want to put it above here. If anything, worst case scenario, what we could do is we could just extend it by 1. But let's see. All right. Run it again. All right, so it's basically almost the same thing, and what we could do for our scaffolding large and small is we'll just push it up by 1 tile. I don't know if this will change the origin of our image. We'll find out very soon. Yeah, we might need to reset. We'll want to change the offset of that image. Yeah, okay. Let's go back here. Offset on the y-axis is going to be -8. Why is this one so much larger? Oh, because we already moved it. There we go. There's one thing that's slightly strange about this, and that's there's like an invisible tile right there. Yeah, we've deleted it. So what we want to do is if it, we'll say here, and there we go. Now we have perfect platforms. And then another thing we'll want to do is we'll want to check if this is if there is a scaffolding below us. We don't want to have this extra little platform there, but honestly, I'm happy with the way it looks. So yeah, this one doesn't have it, and it's because now we have to draw them automatically. What I would also want to do is, I don't know if I'm gonna make it this dynamic just yet. Honestly, we could just draw them ourselves for the most part. So technically what I'm doing right now is, let's say, well, what I was planning to do is if we have all of these here, it would only draw these two sections right here and then ignore this one completely. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to ignore the cases where I'm never going to have 3 or like an odd number. It's always going to be either 2 or 4 or 6 increments of 2, basically. So we'll have that there, and it should work the same way as it did before. We also need to make sure, sometimes these might be an odd number, so like right here, this is 2, 4, 6, and then there's a 7th one here. I don't know what's gonna happen on this 7th part right there. We could either place another section right there, or we can make sure that... Oh, it doesn't even matter. Seems like it's fine. So yeah, it looks great. And then one final thing that we're going to want to do is whenever we create one of these, we want to make sure we're placing one of the random tiles. So I'll do that next. And what's cool about this is we can actually place these scaffolding like objects anywhere in our game. So let's see. We won't place it here. But for example, if we wanted to edit this room, I'm just curious to see how it would look. We just put 4 right here. You know what, let's just fill up this whole section. Get rid of this one. So yeah, that's how it would look. We would want to put these on the -1 index so that it's not like right above all of these other tiles. And then here, let's add a script to these scaffoldings. Environment small scaffold. We'll just say, yeah, let me think about this. So For now, what we'll do is we'll create a random number. Maybe we'll want to put this. We're going to want to put this in our level manager, just so that everything is always consistent. Like it's always going to have the same seed. But for now, let's just say frame. Let's just do this for now. RNG. You know what? We're gonna do it right now, so we don't have to worry about it later. We're gonna go into our level manager. Level. Main nodes, loading, background manager. Yeah, so we have this furniture flip module. We're gonna have a var furniture or so we have this scaffold counter, and maybe we'll want to add a module here. Yeah, we could do that. We could also include it in the object itself. So then over here we'll say if scaffold level manager dot scaffold counter of 2 is equal to 0. We'll say frame is equal to 0. Equal to 1. And then we'll also want to add to this. So level manager dot scaffold counter. Copy all of this. Well, honestly, we'll just make another sprite for this. I mean, another script. It's the same exact thing, but maybe in the future, each of these scaffoldings might have a different number of sprites. So now, I mean, we could just make the script more dynamic to handle a bunch of frames, but it's not a big deal. So over here, you can see it does work, but they're not symmetrical, or like they don't align properly. It's probably just the texture is messed up. Let's find out right now. So yeah, it's just our texture is a little unaligned. So if we go back into GIMP, which one? It's this one. Whoa. And there we go. And in our auto tile, let's just remove this camera here. Nice. Oh yeah, and we do want to set the Z index of this object here. I think we could do it just in the sprite itself. Hopefully, we'll just set it to -1. Z as relative here as well. Oh my goodness. Pretty cool. They are automatically being placed. Alright, so yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it here. It took a lot longer than I expected it to, but that's fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 6 here. Just want to see what that looks like. And I'll end the stream. Sometimes I think maybe we don't want these two sections, or like the 2x2s or the 4x4s. And on the y-axis, we're going to want to make sure that we... Right now it's only handling 2x2 here. It should be 2x4. And then place another one down there so that they're symmetrical. But yeah, I don't know if I like the smaller ones. We'll see. Oh, but yeah, I'm going to take a break now. Oh, hey, how's it going, Max? I don't know how to say your name. But yeah, that's that. I'm gonna take a break now. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll